Welcome back to Shadows of Vengeance. Tonight, we return to the abandoned mill in Blackthorn, a place where silence feels almost physical. Dr. Ramirez, why do you think such settings amplify tension in stories like this?
Atmospheric locations like the mill serve as more than backdrops, they act as psychological pressure cookers. The thick silence and darkness heighten our senses, triggering primal fears. It's similar to how interrogation rooms are designed to unsettle, making character sand listeners more vulnerable.
That's fascinating. So, the environment itself becomes a character, shaping how events unfold and how people respond under stress. How does this relate to our protagonists tonight?
For both Ethan and the Whisper, the oppressive atmosphere of the mill intensifies their inner turmoil. It magnifies every sound, every movement, making trust and decision-making even more fraught with danger. The mill's decay mirrors their own fractured states.
As we move deeper, we see Ethan presenting the Whisper with an envelopeia, literal and metaphorical container of secrets. Dr. Ramirez, why do secrets carry such narrative weight in thrillers?
Secrets function as both catalysts and ticking time bombs. In psychological terms, holding dangerous information creates immense stress. For Ethan, the envelope is the lifeline. For the Whisper, it's Pandora's box, potentially leading to liberation or destruction. Both outcomes are possible, and that uncertainty is key.
So, the act of withholding or revealing information can drive the story forward and escalate tensions, correct?
Exactly. Each secret has consequences. The mere presence of the envelope shifts the balance of power, forcing both men to confront not just each other, but their pasts and fears about what might happen next.
Let's talk about trust or the lack thereof. Ethan wants the Whisper to believe him, but every gesture is scrutinized. How does distrust shape interactions in high-stakes situations like this?
In high-stress environments, our brains become hyper-vigilant for deception. The Whisper's reluctance to trust is a survival mechanism honed by trauma and betrayal. Neuroscience shows that once trust is broken, regaining it requires exponentially more evidence, a dynamic we see play out here.
So, even honest intentions can seem suspicious when the stakes are life or death?
Absolutely. Ethan's fear and sincerity are both visible, but the Whisper's experience tells him to assume the worst. This push and pull is what keeps readers and listeners on edge.
The envelope itself is almost a character. Let's unpack its symbolism. Why do objects like this carry so much weight in storytelling?
Physical objects like the envelope serve as anchors for abstract themes. Here, it's a vessel for truth, danger, and hope. Think of the envelope as Schrodinger's box. Until it's opened, it contains both salvation and doom, forcing characters to make impossible choices.
That duality is powerful. How does it change the dynamic between Ethan and the Whisper?
It shifts the locus of control. Whoever possesses the envelope holds the narrative's momentum, making it a focal point for action and suspense.
The envelope mentions Project Erebusa, covert Black Ops unit tied to illegal experiments. Dr. Ramirez, can you contextualize this within real-world parallels?
Historically, Black Ops programs like MKUltra operated in secrecy, often with little oversight. These projects blurred ethical lines under the guise of national security. Project Erebus fits this mold: secretive, unaccountable, and prone to crossing moral boundaries in pursuit of power.
So, the inclusion of such a project taps into collective anxieties about invisible authorities, correct?
Precisely. It's a potent reminder that the pursuit of control can lead institutions to treat people as expendable. Fictionalizing these fears makes them more approachable for public discussion.
The Whisper's former identity is hinted at in the dossier. Why is the loss or concealment of a name so critical in stories of espionage and revenge?
Names are proxies for identity. In intelligence work, erasing your name is like erasing your history, making you a ghost. The risk is that if your real name resurfaces, so do all your vulnerabilities, connections, weaknesses, prior actions. It's like a computer virus exploiting a hidden backdoor.
So, by linking the Whisper to his past, the dossier threatens more than just physical safety, it threatens his very sense of self?
Exactly. It's not just about being found, it's about being unmade. The psychological toll can be as devastating as any physical threat.
Suddenly, a drone enters the scene, a military grade, silent and precise. How do modern surveillance technologies change the landscape of danger in stories like this?
Drones represent the evolution of the hunter. Unlike traditional pursuers, they lack human weaknesses, no fatigue, no fear. Their presence raises the stakes, as escape requires outsmarting algorithms, not just people. In 2022, global drone surveillance deployments increased by 35%, reshaping urban and rural security.
And for our characters, this means the environment itself becomes hostile, correct?
Absolutely. The sky isn't just above theme, it's watching, listening, and potentially attacking. This omnipresent threat forces new tactics and heightens paranoia.
Let's analyze the Whisper's response to the ambush's swift, methodical movements and tactical decisions. What sets professionals apart in crisis situations?
Training hardwires certain reactions. The Whisper assesses threats, calculates lines of fire, and minimizes exposure, all in seconds. Research shows elite operatives can process threat cues 40% faster than civilians, turning instinct into survival. He uses cover, keeps Ethan moving, and stays unpredictable.
So, improvisation and discipline are key, especially when protecting less experienced allies like Ethan?
Yes. The professional's greatest challenge is managing unpredictability like Ethan's panic while neutralizing threats. It's a delicate balance between aggression and caution.
Ethan's presence complicates everything. Let's discuss the civilian factor in high-risk operations. How does an untrained ally shift the odds?
Civilians are liabilities. They lack situational awareness, discipline, and tactical skill. But they can also be leverage. Their innocence sometimes disarms opponents or draws fire away. In hostage scenarios, for example, unpredictable behavior can disrupt even seasoned operators.
So, Ethan's fear and uncertainty might actually introduce variables the Whisper can exploit?
Exactly. While it raises the risk of collateral damage, it also forces adversaries to adapt, potentially exposing their intentions or weaknesses.
Finally, the chapter ends with unanswered questions and mounting danger. Why are cliffhangers so effective in gripping our attention?
Cliffhangers leverage our brain's craving for closure, a phenomenon called the Zeigarnik effect. When a story leaves gaps, our minds fixate on possible outcomes. This compels us to keep listening, reading, or watching, much like the unresolved secrets in tonight's episode.
So, suspense isn't just entertainment, it taps into fundamental psychological needs?
Precisely. By denying resolution, storytellers harness our curiosity and anxiety, ensuring we return for the next chapter.